Good afternoon, SJ fans. That's right, we are back, and this is a new channel, a new company. There's been a lot that has transpired. It's been a full month. I did have to wait 30 days. I really couldn't disclose a lot of the information. There's anti-competition clauses in the old contract, but we are here now. I am live. We are live. It is Friday. We probably can do it every Monday and Wednesday and Friday. I'm excited to be back. It's good to see everybody. The phone lines should work. I don't know if they're doing super chats, but if they do, if they're available, you would be able to see them. But either way, we have a lot to get into. So much has transpired. As you know, there are certain legal things that I could talk about, certain that I can't talk about. The biggest thing in my life that has come to, you would think that if they were smart in terms of business, they would say, hey, why don't you come over here? Now, they didn't know that I couldn't go over there, but it would have been nice for them to actually offer. There was one guy that did offer, and I went on a show yesterday. That was Joe Catalano, the only one out of all these people, all of them. Joey C was the only one that made me an offer to come over to his channel. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to anyone's channel, but it was nice to see and test out who you can go to and who you couldn't go to. But either way, here we go. Let's get into the first clip, and I have to say that despite everything that is going on, John is by far the best broadcaster, the most interesting broadcaster in your Dabbleverse, our Dabbleverse. And when I realized it's because when we drove to Florida, there's a lot of times we have nothing to do. I didn't anticipate the Dues Pair show. I didn't anticipate Bob's show. No offense to Bob. I love Bob, but I wanted to watch John because John's interesting. Even if the shit was negative towards me, it's still interesting. And despite whatever we're going through and whatever we have a long journey probably ahead, he still has the most interesting show here. He's the most compelling. And those who can't admit that don't really have an objective view of what's going on. Let's get into this first clip of SJ. Let me get this up.
Oh, he deleted a tweet, too, about... He wrote some drunken tweet, all misspelled, going, I'm getting my...
So this is taking us back to the second night of Atlantic City. First night was great. I wasn't there the second night. SJ is in another room. He had two rooms from me. The other room that he had was with Hitman Dan and Dawn, and this is SJ the second night, recapping the first night.
My dick sucked tonight, or something, and he tweeted it out. And he deleted it.
Yeah, Vince was with him, so he said, get rid of it.
Yeah, Vince goes, I don't need a paper trail.
Took a ride with Tukey.
What?
Over to the comedy show. But I thought I'd give you a little recap before I get completely fucking inebriated and start laying down some money on the game. Another thing, Kevin Brennan, charming guy to hang out with.
I've never seen a guy so in love with another guy. I mean, look at John's face. Look how everything changes the second he mentions that guy, Kevin.
Now, I have said horrible things about him. He has said horrible things about me. One thing he did say was...
What is with this lisp he has all of a sudden?
That ain't a list. That is love. That is pure love right there. And again, I've said it countless number of times. I've never seen John act the way he does when he acts in front of that guy, Kevin.
This way, I've said horrible things about him.
See, I'm afraid of flying, to be honest with you. I hate flying. I'm not afraid.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I thought you have so many credits you could affect air travel and bring down a plane with your mind.
I know, but see, I'm afraid of flying. To be honest with you, I hate flying. I'm not afraid. I just hate it.
Pussy.
Some white.
You're afraid of flying, you fucking pussy.
Oh God, forgot how bad the Dues Pair was. But yeah, this is just to go back, and John and I were obviously friends at this time. In fact, 2 days later, after he spent the night in my suite, the next night in two other rooms that I had. He then wanted to disbar me at that time. This is back in February.
And nothing. Great time with Vince the lawyer. Gotta say, great time. Vince couldn't have been nicer to Danny and Dawn. Nicer to me. Generous.
And Tony Orlando and Dawn.
And first time I ever hung out with.
Well, we did tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree.
Oh, God, I so forgot because I don't listen to the Dues Pair show. I don't know about you, but I put it on. I do anticipate it. I won't say that. And you can only listen for a few minutes. And I told this to Bob privately. You see that show. They blocked anyone that has negative comments. Now, Bob will say, oh, they're just blocking people that dox. Bullshit. No one's doxing anything. Next, they say they only block people that are you. Well, I mean, I'm only 450 of the 500 blocked accounts. The rest get blocked because they said anything negative. Most of the super chats are related to, I'm a veteran and I have my dying mom here and we're listening to Uncle Rico. And none of that is true. It's so watered down and boring when it comes to that. And then the cuts that they do, when you put a bad sound in, like that squiggly sound that they make after each cut, it's just so bad. Now, that doesn't pull everything together. Now you have Bob and you have everything else, and I'm okay with that. It's just that when they have that guy Phil and nothing has changed running it, it is still going to be a bad show.
Now, this is the guy who was supposed to get disbarred the day before.
Right, the day before. I will do everything in my power to have you disbarred.
Talk about foreshadowing. So as much as I talk bad about the Dues Payers comedy, he did foreshadow something there.
Hey, can you get me an extra key to the room, please?
Vince, but I love the guy. He was great, and we had a great time. Hello, Devin. Hello, Alexandra. And hi, Lori. And we had a blast. And it's so hard to break down all the events in one show. I know I covered it drunkenly last night with Vince, but shit, I literally think I drank 20 beers last night.
He can't stop. He's such a fucking...
I don't think it was the beers that kept Dan and him up all night. But either way, I think we could do these super chats. Vinny, can you give us some insight on Aaron from Steel to hopefully going to prison for running his mouth? I have no insight because I just don't care. I don't listen to that Aaron guy. I don't listen to Kevin, that other guy. So those things just don't excite me in any way. So I don't have any comment on it because I just don't follow it. When KB calls SJ a deadbeat, my heart flutters. Yeah, exactly. But still, John is in love. And you see how he's talking to me. Yeah, I gave him all this stuff. When we saw Kevin, it looked like he was reporting from an Iraqi bunker. Kevin didn't even have a room at Borgata. John has 3 rooms right now, which are all mine. And, he's being kind here. But then the next day, he didn't want to talk to me. He never smiles at me the way he does when he sees or even talks about Kevin.
High school, he's just sitting here bragging about how many beers he can put down in a night, and he's 60 years old.
And listen, 20's not really that impressive from what we've seen.
Is being mean. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Are you there? So that's all they do is just hate and bullshit. And it's a lot of it. And it's non-stop. But, I'm just going to go down for a second.
Who kept ringing that doorbell?
Oh, God. So anyway, let's get to find this thing here.
I don't know. I guess we can still take calls. Let me see. 908, go ahead.
Vince, it's Julie. I'm home in a high. I can't find your channel on YouTube. Oh!
I missed the Dues Payer and those jokes.
Let's see. But here we go.
There's something about his character that I find not endearing. I don't know. There's something about him.
So this happened, I guess, recently. And the whole issue with the Kate Meany recording John and their whatever they were doing. But I had said that these guys should not play these recordings. Not because it would be illegal. It's just something that I would never do. It's not something that I appreciate. I don't think it's funny. And here we have Carl admitting that he finds John endearing and he likes John. And he's a huge super fan of John, as am I. And Carl will not stoop to the level of the douchebag and whoever else in playing these tapes. And I agree with Carl 100%.
That's interesting to me. That I enjoy.
It's easy to goof on.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm not trying to ruin his life. Honestly, when they were playing the Kate Meany tapes and it got like real personal with like family shit, I would not have done that person.
100% agree. I would never play those tapes.
I'm not trying to ruin the guy's life. I'm not. That's not my thing.
You were all in before, so what happened? Is it because you know the law?
There's something about
No, it's because Carl feels bad for you.
that I've been playing these illegally recorded phone calls.
Carl doesn't feel bad for John. Carl's made his living off of John from what I can see. And I respect Carl for what he's doing. I don't want anything to happen to John's income. I mean nothing. In fact, I will do anything in my power to have John earn more money. And I would do anything in his power to have all his assets increase. Now, let me tell you something. All those things that I did on Cape Coral, that was all a joke. Just a joke. Cape Coral is a beautiful place. If you want to live on waterfront property, you can do it in Cape Coral. And I want that property, and I want all the properties in Cape Coral to increase in value tremendously, tremendously. And I don't want necessarily John to be a homesteader there. Like he said he lives in California. He lives with a mom. That's great. It's great that he told us he lives in California because Florida's got very, very great protection for people that actually live in Florida. But if you live in California, you don't live with your mom, that's fine with me. But the one thing I will say is Cape Coral is a beautiful place to live. Beautiful. And I want the property values to increase as much as possible. As much as possible. And I don't want anyone fucking with John's income, especially now.
And I don't think that's true. These are AI. I mean, I created them myself with some different prompts. I'll give you another example.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is Carl using deadpan, trying to be funny, trying to be fake? Isn't that everything he would criticize me for? And this is compliments of that YouTube channel, Dabbletown USA. Apparently, Carl did play the tapes. Now, I didn't know this, but he did. And he's trying to use this fake deadpan, poorly done, which he criticized me for doing, in an attempt to, I don't know, play the tapes, but not really play them.
You got to see American Fiction.
No, I know. And it's so funny you said that because my brother-in-law is saying that he wants to watch American Fiction tonight. I go, yeah. My future wife was watching that.
That's
Kate's laugh is so hot. And I told this to Lori, my wife, and she disagreed. And even Bob said, no, it's annoying. I'm like, what are you talking about? It is the hottest laugh I've ever heard. I just want to hear these tapes for that laugh.
That's pretty funny. I threw in the future wife thing. So I'm here to announce I'm not going to play the Kate Meany phone call between Kate and Stuttering John. Instead, what I've done, I've been playing with this AI software. And, you put in different prompts and you say, what would it sound like if there was a phone call between a drunk Stuttering John and a high Kate Meany?
I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to give you a big fat hug.
God, the laugh is so hot. And John, it's cool because you cannot make fun of John and his game. We all, as guys, do the same thing. There's not one straight guy out there, probably even gay guys do it to other gay guys. John's trying his hardest to work this girl. And obviously, we've all done these exact same things. Unfortunately for John, they were recorded. And I would never, ever play these tapes, ever. I wouldn't condone it, ever. And here Carl is doing it. And I disagree with Carl in playing these tapes.
We're going to have so much fun.
Oh, you ain't kidding. That is a guarantee. I mean, there's no way we're not going to have so much fun. It's impossible. I can just imagine the whole day. It's going to be like just, partying and fucking, hitting the beach,
Hugging. That's where AI got a little weird. I was like, oh yeah, partying, that makes sense. Hit the beach.
Yeah, Carl has no clue. That's what we do on Long Island. That's exactly what we do. How great is the beach? Your whole life, you're trying to see a girl in her underwear and bra. You bring them to the beach, and they have to wear that. So I know what John's doing. I mean, I've done it before. I'm not going to criticize John here. I'm going to criticize Carl for playing these tapes. I would never play them.
Do you like to swim?
I love it.
You're a good swimmer.
Yeah, I'll save you. I've saved, what now? About 2 or 3 people from drowning. I literally saved them.
And here's where I take issue with John. John was never a certified lifeguard. They did have these like junior lifeguard trainings, but you're not allowed to be a lifeguard. You have to pass the lifeguard exam. I was a lifeguard. Kate Meany was a lifeguard. KC was a certified lifeguard. John was never. Of course, he's going through the save avenue because that's where he saw his dad save Osa from that guy. And then he also saved his wife on the dance floor. So that is John's move. And that's okay. I am not faulting John here. The only one I'm faulting is Carl for playing these tapes, which I would never do.
Old man in a wave pool, single-handedly, because I took, I was in like lifeguard school and shit. Like I know how to swim and hold the guy up over the water.
I was a
John doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, those of you that are lifeguards out there know it's called the cross chest carry. That's the move that John should have said, but he's not a certified lifeguard. It's stolen valor. We went through this before.
lifeguard.
Okay, all right, let's just get married. Fuck the...
Now, of course, when he says, let's just get married, that is planting that seed. It is grooming a person. Obviously, he wants to sleep with her. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Remember, the male human ape can procreate basically until its death. A female human ape is only fertile for 45 years. Less, up to 45, 46 in terms of natural fertilization.
I was a lifeguard.
That's amazing. Like AI actually figured out that John's bragged about saving lives and being a lifeguard. They pulled that conversation in, and then Kate Meany, for some reason, said she was a lifeguard. I don't know where AI found that. This is AI.
Thank you for the super chat. It was or why certain tapes Carl didn't want to play. I'm not sure what that means. It was only certain tapes Carl didn't want to play. Well, who is Carl to determine which tapes are good and which tapes are not? Now, Carl had said officially that he didn't want to fuck with John's life, which I agree with, obviously. But some of these tapes would potentially harm John. He is now clearly hitting on a 24-year-old, and John makes that fake story up that he won't date anyone that's less than the age of his child, which is 28, he said. That's all bullshit, obviously. This disproves that. Now, this would probably harm John's relationship with his kids if they see that his dad is so aggressive, so amped on trying to sleep with a 24-year-old. Now, I don't blame John for doing any of this, but you can't say that this doesn't harm John. Again, I would never play them, but apparently Carl did.
I wouldn't play anything real. That would be ridiculous.
It's because I don't have a homeroom and I don't have a first period. Okay. So now I have an hour and a half. What am I going to do? So I just fucking put my fucking feet on the fucking desk, fucking put my hoodie over my fucking eyes, and just fucking take a nap.
Now, Carl just played that, and now you have John admitting to sleeping when he should be working. I mean, there's other things you could do when you're teaching, I think, besides sleeping. This potentially could affect John's future income, which I don't want anyone to fuck with, especially Carl. So how are you going to say that these tapes don't affect John negatively? That's bullshit. Either you be a man and you play the tapes or not, but don't go under the guise of fake AI, which no one believes, and then don't go under the guise that these won't harm John. Clearly now we have him trying to sleep with a 24-year-old and sleeping on the job.
And they're paying me for it.
That's crazy. AI figured out that John was a substitute teacher and realized that maybe he wasn't like working really hard too, because they probably know his work history. They were playing the Kate Meany tapes and it got like real personal. I would not have done that. I'm not trying to ruin the guy's life. This technology is fucking nuts. Go rewatch Terminator.
Yeah.
They were playing the Kate Meany tapes. I would not have done that.
So I'm just like, chilling out. And it's fucking cake. And then, so when the kids, as soon as I have a class, I take attendance, tell them what they got to do. And then they're all like doing what they got to do. And it's not, and I'll watch over them. But at the same time, I'm watching Vince the lawyer. I'm watching Brennan.
Well, we all know, I see when John's watching, and he's watching right now. The real thing is, I don't agree with Carl here. You have to side with John Edward Melendez because Carl's saying one thing, I don't want to play the tapes. And I believe that he thinks that he's somehow helping John by not playing the tapes. There must be another reason. Now, At one point in your life, if you have any type of a black kid or someone that has a channel that's going to be successful, you have to have the talk with them. And the talk is something where you say, when the cops pull you over, be respectful, put your hands on. This is what I was taught. Put your light on, put the hands on the steering wheel. That's a talk for the police. But the talk I have with channels that start to really grow is you now have to be more conservative in what you do, because you don't want something to take you down, something that's frivolous or that is not going to gain you anything. So perhaps Carl is holding back on playing these tapes because he feels that he has some potential negativity that could occur if he keeps playing them. But the ones that he's playing here clearly are negative to John Edward Melendez, and I would never play them.
I finally bought headphones, so now,
God damn. Kate Meany is either the hottest girl in the world with the hottest laugh or a freaking genius. That laugh is going to seduce us guys. It doesn't take much. But if you're talking to a girl and she's laughing like that, you are going to fall in love. And you are going to say and do some stupid things. I don't fault John Edward Melendez here. I understand now clearly why he really, really wanted to have sex with Kate Meany. I understand completely.
Like creeping up to the computer, like trying to hear what
They were playing the Kate Meany tapes. I would not have done that.
Because of the stupid, dumb shit you're saying on those tapes. And Carl's entitled to feel that way. I don't. This motherfucker, you're a piece of shit. You've been a piece of shit before I ever did anything to you. You tried to, what you claim that we're trying to ruin your life, you legit tried to do to me, to JD, to other people that you were just upset about. Like you had no fucking reason for it. And if you had something that would ruin any of our lives long before these tapes existed, you would have ran with it. We've gone over the examples.
I agree here with the Deuce Pair. And also, I hate when people blame the tapes and disclosing the tapes. You put that on there. You put whatever you said on there. It is your responsibility. Don't blame someone who discloses it. And of course, us in the news and us journalists, it is our obligation to report on it. This is newsworthy. We have to report on it. Our country has founded and succeeded on this very basis, that you cannot silence us. The worst thing you can do is have an attorney come in here and tell you what to do, an attorney thinking that he's funny, an attorney telling you don't talk bad about kids, attorney telling you what to say in this comedy world. That is the worst thing you can do. And a bunch of the attorneys think that they're funny. They're not. I don't want to hear an attorney telling John Edward what he should say and what he shouldn't say. I said it from the beginning. That is the biggest mistake that I made and that a lot of us make. Don't tell John Edward what to do. He has the most interesting show. He is the most interesting man in this Dabbleverse. And aside from my vested interest in him and wanting him to succeed, that is how we are all here, is because John's behavior is pervasive. 346, go ahead.
Yo, Vince.
What's up, Ali?
Hey, man, I'm happy you're back. Hey, but you missed the news from Carl. Carl announced that they'll be playing all the Kate Meany clips at DabbleCon 2 in Rochester, which obviously shows they're not selling any tickets. That room is like a 200-seater.
I heard that too. Does that imply that Carl, and I heard sort of Carl saying, well, I'm not DabbleCon 2, and that's like Shuli's thing. Or is he taking ownership of that Dabble NerdCon 2?
No, that's his. That's his.
Okay.
Because they're doing it at Rochester at a big old Vinnie Paulino's club. And let's never forget, Vince, before I hang up.
Yeah.
Let's never forget Carl's wife doesn't have a period anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's natural too. But again, I don't agree with John Edward with regard to her being ugly. I always said that. I thought she was attractive. And I have to say, John Edward and his nickname of Moonhead is so great, because we were watching Vinnie Paulino came on one of the shows where we were driving, and it's such a beautiful nickname that John came up with. I love it. Congratulations on defacing the Liberty Bell and all the other artifacts that we have here.
Hey, those people were brought in by the American Israeli lobby, who control Congress, who control this country. It's a fucking shame that a prime minister of a terrible genocidal state like Israel is being applauded in Congress. That's who your owner is, America. You're slaves to the Zionist regime. That's exactly what it is.
And a lot of people feel that way, Ali. And again, there was a lot of destruction in terms of painting on the bell. I don't necessarily understand fully what's going on with that, but we're here reporting on that news as well as other news. Let's get back to the old dues payer.
You thought you had nude pictures of me. Did you go, you know what? This is wrong. And it is. If you've seen me naked, it's all wrong. But
I mean, geez.
But I mean, at any point do you go, yeah, you know what? This is crossing the line. Ask the people that have been watching for months how many times they've yelled at me for not going after you. It's enough. It's enough. The fucking mom, the wife, everybody's wives, everybody's fucking family, pictures of my kids. Fuck you. Fuck
and this
you.
guy's fucking sister lives under a fucking bridge. Have you seen that fucking thing?
Yeah, you got to play a tune to get by. Otherwise, she'll fucking rip your neck off.
Thank God somebody told me what I said the other day.
They're speaking about John Edwards' sister, I think Joyce.
5 dicks were coming at her. They grow wings so they can fly away from that fucking beast.
It was worth it. It's definitely worth it.
All right, hopefully you can see this. This is John's total for today.
How much?
Ooh.
So far,
$38.
Son of a bitch. Is that real? I hope that it was a lot more. Maybe that's just during the show. And any of you assholes out there that are refusing to super chat John, then don't even come listen to this show. All right? I want John to be successful. $38 is not acceptable for the Duke. He's the Duke. And dues payer, if the Duke goes away, what do you think you're going to do? The show sucks when he's here. What are you going to do if he leaves? So I don't know why you're bashing the Duke. We both have a vested interest in the Duke making a lot of money. A lot of money.
$38.
$38, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, he needs about another 61, and so he can wipe his ass with it. Because he wipes his ass.
His character that I find not endearing. I don't know. There's something.
That's what I love about Missy B. You don't see her going, yeah, no, I hear you, Carl. She's like, fuck him.
Maybe John's right about Carl. Just do it. God, what happened to him?
It's interesting to me.
Well, that's the other thing, Carl.
How the fuck does Bob believe he looks so good? I said this to him yesterday. He called me when I was at the gym. And I go, Bob, I'm at the gym every fucking day. I look at you, and you're looking fucking great. I don't understand it. You know what he told me? He said, switch to bourbon. As opposed to just drinking like beer or wine, because I don't drink hard alcohol. That was Bob's fitness advice to me, but apparently it's working for him.
He has to know this, that if John had something on him to ruin him, his marriage, his fucking life, he wouldn't hesitate for a second.
Of course. John doesn't even have to have something. He can make shit up and trying to ruin your life. Trust me, I know. You don't cross the Duke. Everybody knows that.
For a second.
And I struck him for you, Carl. And this is how you talk?
Yeah, how dare you?
Joy. So I'm not a hateful person. I'm not trying to ruin his life. Honestly, when they were playing the Kate Meany tapes and it got like real personal.
You heard honestly before he was going to make this next statement, which most likely will be deception or deceptive.
Personal with like family shit.
Hold on a second. I don't think any of us are hateful people. These people bring it out on you, you know?
I don't know, it's this guy, absolutely. This guy definitely, you end up fighting in the fucking mud with him. That's just how it is.
Ruin the guy's life. That's not my thing.
Well, you have been for a long time now, Lady K. I mean, I don't understand. Like, am I happy that you finally admitted that I'm interesting after all this shit? Just the other day, you said I had the worst podcast ever, and now suddenly I'm interesting. Wahapa.
Carl forgives. Shuli doesn't. Game over for Stut Joe. Do it. Listen, I have been forgiving with this guy for a long time.
There's a lot of stuff people wanted Shuli to do, and he did.
You ask these guys. We've gone into full blown arguments where some people want me to do certain things, and I just didn't.
Shuli's he's a little tyrant. I mean, when I asked for some help from the group, I sent a text message because I had driven all night and I was up and I was thinking about things. and I just sent a text message, and I was asking for some assistance from them. And it was odd because I received a call from him that I missed. So I just texted him back saying, hey, I'll call you back on Monday. And the next text that he sent me was, don't ever text me at 3 a.m. again. And when I heard that, I'm like, or what? What are you going to do? But that's not my style. I said, oh, sorry for it. But either way, he is a little tyrant. I mean, don't ever text me at 3 a.m. again. And I was asking for something that was serious. And eventually it led to something that was great in terms of what I'm doing. But either way, I don't want to mess with the Deuce Pair at all.
I want to do it. And after a while, I just realized nothing's ever going to stop. This guy, the reality of this, he doesn't even care what we played on those tapes. What do you think of that? Doesn't even bother him. If I never played that, his relationship with his family would still be shit because he's shit long before those tapes.
The Deuce Pair is making a good point because it doesn't matter what John was caught saying, right? It matters who he is. And just because he says one thing, you don't persecute him. And I don't think what he said was that bad. I really don't. I wouldn't play these tapes ever. I don't even think that the Deuce Pair should have played the tapes. I don't agree with Carl playing those recordings. But either way, it's true.
Whoever recorded.
Do the trolls contact her?
I think so because she texted me and said, "Yeah, Dad, it just sucks that us kids have to deal with this." And I know that they're mad at me, but I just sent them an email, like a text because I've been seeing a therapist, because of the stress it's putting on me and the kids,
Yeah.
And
it's annoying to me that John Edwards' kids, so they're adults now, don't understand his industry. It comes with a lot of consequence. I know what John has done to me is nothing compared to what High Pitch's old partner did to me. You don't hear me complain about it. The guy's doing 9 years in prison. The only other person I sued in this stupid entertainment world was that guy and somebody else. That was it. Those two. For not frivolous things, not for talking bad about my kids, not for any of that stuff. You have to deal with it. And these kids, John Edward, need to understand the fact that they were able to go to the best white high school. There was literally no black kids at their high school. None. How great is that for them? Nothing. Except for like the rich black kids. Because John put himself out there. Now they can't come back and take the positive and complain about the negative. If you want me to speak to these kids when everything's said and done, I will. They need to understand that John Edward Melendez needs to earn money. And this is the only way he can do it now. He's claiming he can go teach. That's bullshit. He can't teach right now. Or maybe he could. Teach at a college. But what Carl put up there is certainly not going to help him when an employer looks and sees that John Edward is sleeping while he should be teaching kids. I mean, these are children. We're talking about college maybe. But either way, I think you should be working as opposed to sleeping. So how is that any different than what Shuley played?
So I wrote them a text. I go, listen, I know you guys, get abused because of my celebrity. But just remember that, my celebrity was able to put you in the best school district.
Oh my God.
And my celebrity put you in great homes, and my celebrity, put college funds away for you and took care of you and took you on great vacations. So,
100% true. 100% true. And I don't want these little brats complaining. They got to understand that their dad is in this industry. So what? What is really happening to you? For real. What is going on that you can't deal with it? John just bought Lily a new car. How do you think he paid for that car? I wonder whose name that car is in, actually, if John put down the money. We'll figure all that out.
You gotta take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have both ways.
And do they contact your eldest?
Rarely. That's the only one who's got he's got physical and mental issues. I mean,
and that's the big thing. I always said, John, does Greta have any mental issues? Because that's what all the science indicates with regards to what she went through. I mean, the fact that she doesn't understand that there are two genders, the fact that she could not get that is obviously a mental disorder. And I asked John this, and he didn't have to admit it, but I wanted him to be honest about it because we cannot hide certain things. We cannot hide scientific truths. There are two genders, two sexes. Gender and sex is the same exact thing. If we can't agree on a very basic scientific point, then we are going in the wrong direction. I don't want to go in that direction when I'm starting at a point where there's more than two sexes. It's biological. It's science. And I know a lot of you Republicans out there are science deniers, but I am in the Democratic Party, and I told John that even though he said I wasn't, I said, look it up. You know where I live. You keep giving out all my addresses anyway. Look it up. Go to New York State website right now and put in my thing. My birth date is 8/25/77. Put that in too, and you will find that I am in the Democratic Party, John. But denying science is not what we're about. That's what the Republicans are about.
He's just like a recluse. But the other two are,
He's claiming Greta is a recluse. We don't know any of that to be true. I don't even know what that really means in terms of an adult. But clearly Greta, according to John, has mental issues, and he's saying physical issues. Now, I don't know what he's talking about there. I don't know anything about Greta.
They're fucking achieving fucking crazily,
How about them apples?
Golly.
Hey, you're getting fucked with. Too bad. Your dad.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Holy shit.
What else do you want John to say? And it is true. He has two kids that are valedictorians at a really rich white public school. You know how hard that is to do? And yeah, the Ivy Leagues, when his son was applying, were not requiring the SAT. So obviously anyone that has an advantage going to an all-white school, yeah, you're most likely going to get in because you never took the exam. But still, you can't take it away from the kid. That's what was the situation at the time.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, play that again because my fucking thing cut out. Stupid.
Is he in a relationship? Does he have like a
He's
boyfriend?
married.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, they got married
They're referring to Greta right now.
by the Justice of the Peace, but he's so paranoid of COVID, he didn't invite everybody. So
I didn't know he was married.
That's an interesting word that John said. He didn't invite everybody. He didn't say he didn't invite nobody. He didn't invite everybody. Apparently, I think he's alluding to the fact that John wasn't invited to Greta's wedding.
All right.
yeah, he's married to a non-binary. So again, like I said, all my kids have the same love for vagina that I have.
John has the best transphobic jokes. You have to give it to him. Despite everything that he has done against me. I mean, it's been a lot too. You only seen a little bit of it. He does have amazing transphobic jokes. They're funny. And I will never criticize someone for the type of joke. That's what a joke is. And John excels in this form of humor. We know he's had many anti-trans jokes, and this is another beauty.
Melendez's love for women is strong, runs strong in my family.
John is amazing at crafting transphobic jokes. I love it.
They're all certainly like their father. They want to be nothing like their mother.
And I have to commend Kate on the recording quality. The auto recording quality is amazing. And I don't know if she's acting here or she really did like John, but she did a beautiful job recording technically and a beautiful job speaking to him. And that laugh is so goddamn hot.
They want to be like you.
She's such a cunt. It's not even funny, and I don't use that term often, but she is.
I think he's referring to Susanna there.
Look, Pinky is now, trust me, Kate, I will go to his house when I get that. And I'm going to rip him off his bike.
And he'll just give you a hug.
And again, I do not think the Deuce Pair should have played these tapes. I would never have played them. Never, ever. Despite everything that John has done to me, I never would have played these tapes.
No. It ain't going to be like that. I'm going to rip him off his bike. I'm going to fucking punch him in the face. Yeah. I'm going to tell him, you ever fucking disparage me or my children, I will fucking kill you. That's what I'm going to say to him. But Kate, look, I'm not a violent man. And nor do I want to be a dickhead. But what Kevin keeps saying about a deadbeat dad, when I'm taking my daughter to buy her a car tomorrow, and, I'm going to my son's graduation, who's going to Harvard.
With other friends.
And I paid for everything with
with my children,
Oh.
and this idiot is gonna call me all that shit. You know, oh, John's a drunk, his kids abandoned him. Guess what? I don't let things get to me. I will let this get to me so I can use that to beat the living fuck out of this guy.
Obviously, John is expressing what human apes will do when they're courting a female ape. He's showing her that he is strong, that he can protect her. These are all classic signs of a male ape trying to mate with a female ape. There's nothing wrong with this. I don't care what anyone says. You cannot go against biological, hardwired thoughts. A female looks to the male for protection, and at its very core, physical protection, and that's what John is conveying here.
They were playing the Kate Meany tapes, and it got like real personal. I would not have done that. I'm not trying to ruin the guy's life.
I'm sure you missed me, and I'm happy.
Look at this. All right, we got a flashback. I don't know why here. November 2022. The cool thing about all this stuff, so there always is positive and negative. The attorneys that I have to pay, and I have to, again, I'll get permission from them to thank the law firm, what they uncovered. And again, thank you very much to that special person. You guys would not believe, and when I could tell you the full story, I will, what happened with their acquisition of this one little piece of information that we got, and it turned everything around. It was absolutely insane. I've never seen it before, ever, in my legal career. So I thank that person, and I thank the law firm, and now I thank John for making me spend $57,000 right now, John, because they had to submit this newly found information. $57,000 for this. But either way, that's what life is. I chose this form. I chose the way that things are handled. So that's what it is. So November 2022. I don't even recall what this involves.
Happy to be back. Next week, I'll be doing a show on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Then we'll get back to the regular Tuesday and Thursday. Had some stuff to do. Apparently, on Twitter from an ex-friend of mine says that now I'm a mailman. Yes, I work for the United States Post.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So in terms of credibility, how cool is this? Now, we know John's lying here because we know that he just admitted he is a mailman, which was a great show, by the way. Watch John's body language. So this is November 2022. You know what we're looking for is a change in his baseline behavior. Again, these are just indicators. It doesn't mean that he is lying, but look for any type of change when you ask your husband, are you cheating on me? You know he is. Look how he responds, though.
I'm a mailman. Yes, I work for the United States Postal Service.
And there you go. Indicator of deception.
Yeah, I'm a school teacher. I'm a mailman. I'm a limo driver.
He's actually was all three of those.
Oh, God.
So then I was driving a truck for Royce. Let me tell you what else I did. I worked for the United States Postal Service.
And how great was this show? I don't know if you recall, but John started out with a bad green screen. He then went into the story about how he was a postman, and then he got the call from the attorney because the dues payer was talking to the attorney, and the dues payer told the attorney, Mark, that John is again talking about kids. Now, when you talk to attorneys that are not involved in this, they say, oh my God, he's talking about kids. These aren't kids, they're adults for the most part. And even so, who is that attorney to stop the John Edward Melendez from talking about anybody, as long as it's not illegal?
I tried to do 2 jobs and work for Uber. Why? Because I had a big nut to pay in child support. On my salary as Stephanie Miller, I think I was making $80,000 a year. So I started to drive for Uber, and I found it wasn't for me. Also tried to drive for OnTrack. Found
OnTrack is that, I think, that limo.
It wasn't for me. When I started delivering mail, one of the houses that were on my route, Don Yeagerbaum's house.
Who the fuck is Don Yeagerbaum? I actually took some time to try and look this up. I obviously can't speak to John about it, but if you could tell me who Don Yeagerbaum is, or if that is a joke or something, I don't know.
I was too embarrassed to have Don Yeagerbaum see me deliver mail at his house. Working at the post office is an honorable occupation. My brother did it. My sister did it. But I work for the post office. I'm not ashamed. But it wasn't for me.
You quit the post office?
Kind of. I'm still collecting checks. I'm just not delivering mail.
The hours were brutal. The heat was extensive.
John, that is probably the best place to deliver mail. It doesn't really rain. You're always in the sunshine. Can you imagine all the real postal workers, including Grillo's dad, watching this and hearing you complain about delivering mail in sunny California?
I went through 5 big Gatorades. That's how much I sweat.
The most sought-after postal route of them all. The air is so dewy sweet, you don't even have to lick the stamps. But it's not to be.
I had to go through the training. I had to know you got to carry your mail bag to protect you from dogs.
But what if I delivered it?
You? You can't deliver mail?
Why not?
I guess you're right. It's just walking around and putting it in the boxes.
And I worked the day job at the post office for 2 weeks.
Such a quitter.
I lasted 2 weeks. I think I did 2 weeks of training. I was paid, and then 2 weeks on the job. That's all I could last.
The dream is dead.
You giving up that easy?
I usually do.
In fact, one of my postmaster general, his name was Singh. He told me I had to work on Sundays.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
Mail on Sunday?
Oops.
Some of these guys, I gotta hit it to the United States Postal Service and their employees. These guys work so hard. Some of these guys don't get a day off for 28 days straight. They work every single day.
Do you see how easy it is for immigrants to come here and outwork you white people? It's so easy. Look at this guy complaining. Oh my God, some people had to work 28 days, 10-hour days. The most successful immigrants in the United States are Indians in terms of salary. That's mainly because they stick to the computer IT field, which pays more. But more importantly, it is so easy for them to outwork the white people here. And when I say white, that's all Americans here, non-immigrants. Look at this guy. 2 weeks he couldn't take the job. He quit in 2 weeks in the best location ever that you can deliver mail, California. 2 weeks.
10 to 12 hours a day for minimum wage. I mean, the wages are horrible. I think I was making $25 an hour. Being the genius that I am, I text Singh on Saturday and said, I can't work on Sundays. It's against my religion.
You see how easy it is for them to beat these white kids? So easy. Look at what their role model is. A guy who can't work on Sunday. He's making up an excuse, a religious excuse for not being able to do his work. And it makes me proud when I go to Devon's school and 75% Oriental. It makes me goddamn proud because everyone in there had to work hard. Not one kid you can't buy your way into Stuyvesant High School. Same thing with Big Black's high school. That's why I respect Big Black. I respect him because you cannot buy your way in. Look at this lazy attitude. John Edward Melendez, lazy. 2 weeks and you give up. Looking for an excuse. Talking to a Singh. Singh is an Indian last name. They're Sikhs. Shouldn't laugh at that.
And I got out of it. They're not allowed to force you to work on a religious day of the week. And as you know, as a Catholic, Sundays are the day of rest. I'm not ashamed.
They knew it wasn't me doing my route.
How did they know?
Too many people got their mail. Close to 80%. Nobody from the post office has ever cracked the 50% barrier. It's like the 3-minute mile.
I tried my best.
Exactly. You're a disgrace to the uniform.
You know, this is your coat.
Damn.
I'm not
I wonder if John still has his uniform and how he had to turn in his uniform.
Shame. You guys keep on with this number you keep putting up. Wait to see what is going to happen. Wait until you see. You don't know what I know. And you don't know a lot what I know. And I'm tempted to tell you, but I'm going to wait for my lawyer to let that out. When you realize maybe
maybe I'm not going to help this person. Let's just say that I did lie to you about something. I did. And I lied to you, and it has something to do with school. I lied to you, and a certain idiot believed me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But let's just say this is all too frivolous. So being the frugal fuck that I am, I booked a hostel in Manhattan. Now,
do you know what a hostel is? I mean, it is beyond the flop house, especially the ones in Manhattan. So if you don't have any money, or you're one of these rich kids that travels around in Europe, which I never got to do, I don't know why they stay at hostels. My sister did. It's retarded. But either way, John didn't book a hotel. He booked a room in a flop house that has a shared bathroom with other vagrants. I don't understand why he would ever do this.
What a hostel is you get a 60 square foot room that only includes a bed. So I checked it on Wednesday.
The problem with Long Island is they believe that the city is so expensive. There are hotels, John, that you could have got that are much nicer than a damn hostel, probably for the same price. But again, all that aside, look how great John's show is. I mean, this is still in the same show that he admitted that he was a mail carrier, got fired after 2 weeks. Now he's going into a story about how he stayed at a hostel, and he has no problem admitting to it. The legend, drop this troll, Vince, and you and John call it even. Your trolling is the cause of all this nonsense. I don't have any issue with what you guys call trolling. This is a news program that I'm reporting on the news. Everything that we have legally going on has got to stay separate. Everything.
In Manhattan, because my brother-in-law told me that his kids were there and it would be too crowded.
His brother-in-law, I guess, has a place in Manhattan and said, John, beat it. You can't stay here.
So I check in at the hostel, go back to the hostel, go into my room, go to sleep, wake up at 1 o'clock, gotta go to the bathroom. I'm locked in.
He got locked into the hostel?
I'm locked in the room. Now you have to pay. The rooms are like, I don't know, $100 each, $100 a night. And I'm staying for 2 nights. So you have to fucking pay. You have to give a $50 deposit in case you break anything or you make noise. They charged me that $50 because when I was locked into the fucking hostel, I couldn't get out. So they had to get maintenance to break into the room to get me out.
Oh, he went to the bathroom and locked himself out of his room.
Before that, though, I took the cab from the cellar. And when I got to the hostel with less than a mile.
Why do comedians have to say cellar? I think it's called the Comedy Cellar. And another thing, too. What is this term pass? Oh, he passes at a comedy store. Passes. I got passed at the Comedy Store. I got passed at the cellar. Is that they just allow you to perform for the 50 drunks? Is that the code word for that? I know different industries like to use different lingo, but John, if it's the Comedy Cellar, you can just say
all the way or 2 miles away, I don't know. It's close. The cab driver tried to hit me over the head for $25 for a less than a mile car drive.
First of all, John, you're so 2008. No one takes cabs here at all. Think how stupid cabs are. You go out and just hope that a car comes, and they're going to charge you more for just compared to an Uber that will have the car there for you, a nicer car, and you know the exact price. And $25, John, is not a lot anymore. That's how much these cabs are.
The guy was trying to rob me.
No, he wasn't. He provided a service to you. He was not trying to rob you. It would be on the screen, John.
I said, it ain't $25, dude. He goes, yes, it is. I go, fuck you. And I just got out of the cab. And I went into the hostel. He tried to chase me in. And
John, that's called theft of service. Could have been arrested for what you just did. You can't unilaterally decide that that fare is too much. You can't. If you didn't pay him at all, it doesn't sound like you did, then clearly you committed a crime. And if you were the cab driver out there that drove from the Comedy Cellar to a hostel, which that has to be the first time anyone has ever done that. Call in and let's find out if John Edward Melendez actually stole from you, or maybe he didn't. I don't know. He may have paid more, but according to John, he thought that $25, which is not a lot anymore, it was back when John was taking cabs and not paying for them and showing up at the studio without any money. But now that's how much these cabs are.
And no, fuck you. You're gonna gouge me. That was a $5 cab drive. And
see, this is my problem with rich, white, privileged Republicans. They feel that they can take advantage of someone, a minority, driving that cab, and then unilaterally decide that, hey, that cab price is too much money according to me, and I'm not going to pay you. Typical white, privileged Republican attitude.
Anyway, so I'm in the hospital. I get locked out. I get locked in. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, I just go, all right, I'm out of here. I can't take this place anymore. Called my brother-in-law, stayed at my brother-in-law's.
See, that's the problem, John. The brother-in-law didn't want you there, clearly. If you had a family member, anyone that said, I'm going to stay at a hostel, you would allow them to sleep on your kitchen floor compared to a hostel. That's how bad they are here. I don't know what John is thinking, John Edward Melendez. You're the Duke. The Duke does not stay at a hostel. The Duke was at the suite. The Duke stays in the suite, not a hostel. Want to keep going? I got another video we can watch.
Check.
I think it's from yesterday. John, get that microphone to your mouth. It's not made to be spoken that far away. Move that mic into your mouth. John's down in Cape Coral right now.
Poor little shitway thought he was a comic.
Oh, cool. Remember John Edward Melendez, his first song, his biggest hit when he first came to Howard Stern was Poor Little Jew Boy Thought He Was a Coon. Coon, a derogatory term for black people. That was John's biggest hit. Now, we heard a beautiful transphobic joke by John earlier. Now he's reliving the glory days of his racist lyrics, but I guess he's applying that to the dues payer.
Dude, but I'll tell you this one. And I know it's embarrassing. I know they'll use it against me. I don't care. Shitway's already trying to rile my old lawyer up, telling him I'm trashing him. My old lawyer was a great friend of mine. He just, they played his call. Bob Levy played him.
So what John's talking about, when I was gone, John is under the belief that what Kate Meany did in terms of recording his conversations was illegal. He believes that he can help the prosecution in California and the federal government in prosecuting Kate Meany. In addition, he's trying to utilize a civil statute, which is different from criminal, in order to make Kate Meany pay, according to his attorney, $5,000 for each occurrence and maybe any damages resulting from the playing of the recordings. Again, this is not a legal show. Do not rely upon anything I ever say for legal advice. If you ever need any legal advice, get your own attorney. Don't rely upon everything I say. My opinion is my opinion, but you cannot rely upon it.
They played his call. I'm not saying that he would know these people.
And the attorney that John had called Bob, called the dues payer, and called Carl, and I was texting with them about it, and that's what John is referring to.
Or assholes. He wouldn't. I mean, even that, how low is that Bob would do that? But
beautiful job by Bob Levy in recording the calls. I mean, it wasn't a great quality, Bob, in terms of technically, but I heard it. We were able to hear it. It was good. And Bob was great in doing it. And John, he told the attorney. They were both in New Jersey. We're learning a lot about consent in terms of states. He told the attorney he was going to do it.
That's not a diss on my old attorney. And because I don't dislike him. Well, I mean, he said a lot of horrible things to me, but I don't dislike the man. Like I said, all this shit went down. They taped him. And then the shitway decided that same day to fucking trash my kids, trash my mom, show photos of my mom. So it backfired on me. But again, I don't expect that attorney to know how toxic this Dabbleverse is. I don't expect him to know how abnormal these people are. So I don't put it on him. So if apparently Shitway is trying to rile him up, saying I said something to that attorney. I mean, if I don't, I do a fucking long show. I had a great interview with Pat Cooper's son.
John did have an amazing interview with Pat Cooper's son. Pat Cooper, obviously a comedian that was an integral part in certain famous segments on the Howard Stern show. including his son right here, who is gay. I didn't realize that. And this is Pat Cooper's last wife that he had. And this is the son here. And John did a beautiful interview with him, an amazing interview. And I will be objective in my reporting. Despite what John and I are going through privately, when he does something good, I'm going to say it. I don't have that biased attitude like the Dues Pair has, or maybe even Carl has, although Carl appears to be really in love with John all of a sudden. Again, I never would have played those tapes. I don't know why those guys did that. I never would ever do it. But here we have John interviewing Pat Cooper's son.
Here's a question from Hunter Biden's crack pipe. Thanks for the $5. Don't worry, all these guys are, they have all these crazy names.
It's okay. Let them ask me anything they want. I'm open to answer.
Mr. Caputo, has Shuli Agar tried to get you on his show?
No, I don't know who Shuli Agar is.
Nobody does.
That's true.
Whatever you do, don't go on Pat hated him. Did you know recently, John, he called the guy the F slur for drinking an espresso martini. Now, keep in mind, just in my defense.
The fuck is the F slur?
What's the F slur?
Yeah, exactly.
For gay people.
Faggot. Faggot.
No, not the long way.
Fag?
Yeah. So what happened?
John, are you afraid to say the word faggot or fag? This is my problem with a lot of people that have no exposure to my black community. They have no exposure to the gay community. And John, maybe you should spend a little more time with your kids. Gay people throw around fag way more than you straight people do. And God knows, maybe you forgot, but for some reason, Hitman Dan and you were up for 2 hours calling me both retarded and derivatives of that word as well. Don't be afraid of words, John. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of speaking these words. Notice how a guy who is gay has no problem saying it. Don't be afraid to speak the real word.
I'm talking to, Kevin Meaney, the comedian?
No.
Kevin Meaney was a famous comedian who left his wife for a man, and he had a daughter. And the daughter was getting bullied by all these people in this Dabbleverse, we call it. And I was white knighting for it. I was trying to defend her. So
You're also trying to get in her pants, John, which I have no problem with. I told you straight away that's what you were doing. I recognize your technique. We both grew up in the same area. I have the same technique. I recognize it. I exposed it. There's nothing wrong with it. But make sure you tell Pat Cooper's son the whole story. Tell him that you were trying to romance her, that you divulged secrets, not because you wanted her to give you some advice. You did it to earn her trust in order to eventually mate with her. We all know why you did that, or maybe people don't know, but it's a common technique. You open up about private things and establish a private relationship with her, with the end game of procreating with her.
We used to talk on the phone. I was 15 beers in, and
what does that mean? In vino veritas? In wine truth? Just because you are intoxicated doesn't give you a right to break any laws. Now, of course, what you said didn't break any laws except for maybe threatening to kill somebody. But John, the fact that you're even giving excuses is a huge indicator of deception.
and eating edibles. And she said her boyfriend liked espresso martinis. Now, at the same time, I'm watching.
He is a fag. If that is true, John, that phrase is definitely warranted. And any gay guy will tell you that.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I'm right in the middle of it. And it's right after Sean Penn's character goes, those guys are, and then the F word.
Stop saying F word. If the character said fag, then you say fag. You do not misquote an artist. They put words in there for a reason. Stop being so afraid to say word. Clearly, a guy who is gay has no problem saying it, but for some reason you do.
So I just said, oh, that guy's and I said the F word. Now, that was just to be funny, and it was on a private conversation.
So, John, now you're going to blame the people that recorded it. I know you can't self-reflect, and I know the reason why you're so amazing is the fact that you can't self-reflect. So I'm not going to tell you to do it, but stop blaming people who record you for doing something that you feel is negative. Work on your own negative stuff, but I want you to do whatever it takes to keep making money, John. That's all I care right now in terms of your show. Just keep making money. And the good thing is, John, you were asking how the dues payer allegedly hacked into. They didn't hack into your account. When you go to Playboard or any of these other services that we pay for, they get the exact amount that you're making every day. Just go to playboard.com and type in your channel. That's how we're going to figure out how much you have. That's how much we're going to figure out how much assets and revenue you're generating, how much assets you have, the revenue that you're generating. That's how we do it. And we're tracking in the spreadsheet.
Taped me without my consent. California's a two-party consent state.
And Kate Meany was in a one-party consent state. So there lies an interesting legal question, John Edward Melendez. And the research that our attorneys had to do with regard to that was very clear that it's not necessarily that clear. The only time California has ever that the courts have ever allowed a civil lawsuit is when it was a business defendant. And I heard your attorney and his arguments. I read the law and I had it presented to me. If somebody in New York is recording someone in California, they're under the belief that they're in a one-party state. California says it doesn't matter where that second party is. We're going to apply our law. The problem is, John, if Kate Meany, and again, don't rely upon this for any legal advice. It's not legal advice to you. This is just hypothetically. Let's go with Nate Meany. If Nate Meany actually did this recording in New York, then you would have to establish that Nate has a connection to California. California law will not apply if Nate does not have any connection, meaning doesn't do business there, doesn't live with his mommy there, doesn't broadcast from there, doesn't visit there. These are all hypotheticals. Get your own attorney. Don't rely upon any of this for your own legal advice. But it's very flawed to believe that somehow the law is going to apply in this situation. But everyone in this situation needs to get their own attorney. This is just my opinion for my own actions.
State, and she gave it to the shows that hate me. And so now now I'm anti-gay. Oh, give me
now they're turning you into a homophobe. Meanwhile, you got two gay children that you just accept it.
And that's another thing, too. I don't want to hear, oh, I have two gay children, therefore I can't be homophobic. Or I don't say the word fag, therefore I'm not homophobic. Saying a word or having a child that is gay or having gay friends doesn't make you homophobic, nor does it make you pro-gay. At all. It means nothing. I judge you on your actions, not on your words. Good to see you, V. Thanks for everything. Will you be at NerdCon 2? I was not invited to NerdCon. I mean, it is in the worst location at the worst time, for me at least, in the summer. Most likely not.
So it's irrelevant. That person's irrelevant, and they're an idiot.
I don't recall, and I'm sure I must have said something. I don't think Shitway is.
So now John's trying to figure out why the attorney that he had called Bob had actually came back and started to text him some negative things. And John doesn't know what he said, but apparently he's trying to figure out what he said negatively about the attorney that called Bob.
Well, I mean, he lies all the time, but I don't think he would lie about this because he really wants to stick it to me. But I mean, it weren't that attorney's fault. So the only thing is the attorney I have now is more qualified in these cases than my friend was, and that's all. But I'm not saying anything disparaging or defamatory or bad about my old attorney. So if I did, I apologize because I don't recall. All I know is I said I got an attorney that now more does this specifically, but I wasn't, and I thought it was bad that you got played by Bob.
I don't know if Mark's gonna like you saying that, John Edward.
High school dropout. Maybe that's what I said. That he got played by a high school dropout. I don't know.
I'm just going to go from Kate's standpoint, not your guy's standpoint.
Mm-hmm. So this is the recording that Bob did of the conversation with the attorney.
Standpoint, she illegally records John pursuant to California law. New York law says, hey, you can call anybody else up, and as long as you're on the line and you consent to the recording, you can record it.
Yeah.
California, however, says, not so fast, Kate. You are in violation of Section 630.
Get out of the way, because Gina is looking phenomenal. She took my advice with her hair. She let it grow longer. She didn't cut her bangs. Looking great, Bob. And Bob looks great, too.
30.7 and a bunch of other stats.
Okay, that's Section 602, if anybody's listening. There, now, if you understand what's going on here. Yes, let's move on.
Statutes, besides the criminal penalties, which I would never threaten because you're not allowed to do that. But there are civil penalties.
They teach you in law school that you can't threaten that you're going to send someone to jail. So that's what he's referring to there.
To the tune of $5,000 per illegally recorded call. Notwithstanding the fact that she is in a one consent state, as long as John's in a two consent state, California law applies.
Big, bold statement by that attorney. Now, there is case law that potentially could support that, but there's also case law that doesn't support it. There has never been an individual that has been sued successfully for this situation. So it's only been dealing with businesses. He does not point out that whoever you try to sue, and you got to do it in California because they tried that in New York, it didn't work. Whatever you do, you have to have a hard connection. And there's a legal term for it. But either way, just to make it clear, you have to have a connection to that state in order to be subject to that state's law. If you're sitting in New York, you don't expect Idaho to apply their criminal law to you. Same goes for California, unless, of course, you have a connection to that state. You're actively traveling it. You're living with your mom there. You're earning a living from that state. That's why this law was generally written to prohibit businesses from recording, because the business can then have a connection to a state without physically being there. They could actually solicit business from that state. I'm assuming Kate Meany doesn't have any connection to California whatsoever. Neither does the dues payer. I'm assuming that all this. Now, again, get your own attorney. Don't rely upon my advice. Whatever you do with those tapes, I would never play them or allowed to be played on my channel. Ever. You guys did. That's your business. But in terms of legality, I would not be swayed by this argument, especially not with the case law.
Somebody suggested that, hey, we know this is not AI, this is your voice. And there's no question it's John's voice, okay? John's on the tape. No. But he has a right of privacy. And the idea that anybody would have his kids on the air is unbelievably offensive. In my opinion, juries will go.
Yeah, well, that's what he does with everybody else's kids, and we have plenty of tapes of that.
Well, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Anybody who does that,
exactly,
it's horrible.
Great job, Bob. And the reason why you did play this attorney is attorneys aren't used to comedy. The last thing you need is an attorney coming into the Dabbleverse and telling you what's funny or not, or what you should be doing or not. Oh, he's saying you can't talk about kids. Well, what if the kid's 30 and retarded and doing something funny? Of course we're going to talk about it. Don't let them tell you what's funny and what's not funny. But for a civilian, when they hear, oh, someone's talking about someone's kid, they assume that it's an infant below the age of 18. And it's not. They assume that, and then they don't want to hear it. They think that it's not funny. Well, we have plenty of content, including my kids. Whatever has been done. But I don't want some attorney coming in and telling us what to say or do.
I have to tell you and Julie and Heberger,
Heberger. It's Heberger. Heberger.
Everybody who's involved with this, you should not
Not what?
with any of those tapes whatsoever, or
I don't even have.
Who is this guy coming in and telling us what to do with any type of content? The last thing, again, we need is some jerk-off attorney coming in here telling us what to do, what to say, what not to say, what tapes to play. Now, again, Carl and the newspaper, they decided to play those tapes. And they didn't listen to this attorney. But it is not his job to tell you what's creative or not, what you can do and not do. We have laws for that.
I don't know. I don't have them. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't talk to Kate. I never did. And I basically would never talk to her. There's no reason to.
Whoever sent that, I don't know who sent that email, but John thought it was you.
And John's major problem is he gets emails, he gets advice, he gets statements. He doesn't qualify. He doesn't see if it's true or not. And then he just believes it. And then he tells third parties that it's true. This attorney believed that Bob was emailing John. Now, I heard the email, and it was written at like a third grade level. And I said, Bob, there's no way you can write this well. I said it right to Bob's face. You can't write this well. I knew straight away it wasn't you.
Public figure.
Yeah, so are we.
That was good. The attorney's like, well, John's a public figure. And Bob's like, yes, so are we.
And he's basically, you know, gone after our kids, our wives.
I don't condone anybody going after anybody's kids. If he's doing that, I'm going to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's not be happening.
Yeah,
And
no.
I will put an end to that.
Yeah.
Oh, and now this guy is going to be the creative gatekeeper for John Edward Melendez. We don't need this attorney in here bothering us, telling us what to do and what not to do, because he doesn't believe that it's funny. Well, maybe we do. So long as it's legal, we don't need to listen to him.
I'll tell you, whoever has the tapes, I want them back, number one. Number two, and I'll send you all my contact information.
Okay.
I'll also send you my cell phone. You can't get me at the office.
Sure.
You can call me on stuff, because I am pretty good at sizing people up, and I like you.
No.
I'm pretty good at sizing people up, and I like you. Indicators of deception. And also, really, what he's telling you is, I'm trying to get you to come on my side and do something that I want you to do. His end game was to get Bob to agree to hand over the tapes. There are no tapes, Dopey. They're out on the internet. You will never be able to retract them or get them all back into your possession. Second, he wants them to sign an agreement without filing a lawsuit, without going to any type of trouble, that they won't even use these tapes.
I have no problem. My problem is when he says one thing and then next thing you know, he's going after. There's pictures of Shuli's underage kids, and he says it on there, and he goes, "They're not going to be underage for forever." And I'm like, "What?"
No, that's horrible. I'm gonna get.
It's not horrible. It was funny.
As soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm gonna call John and find out what he's been saying, and I'm gonna put a stop to that.
Yeah.
But either way, I apologize. I don't know.
And that was the problem. He calls John straight away. John has to stop his show. Remember, for 45 minutes, John's got to stop this show and listen to some jerk-off attorney, the last thing we need, of course, telling him how to be funny. We don't need that. We don't need his opinion.
I don't recall it. I did a 3-hour show. It was long. You know, I'm not a moron. You know.
So I guess I retract all the criticism I have on my opinion on that attorney. That attorney is actually really smart and brilliant. He was calling John a moron, I guess, privately. He can size people up. Maybe I retract everything I said about this attorney.
I'm not a moron. It's just, you know, I do have a lot of anger for a lot of things you said to me. And that's always going to stay there. Always going to stay there.
That's an interesting dynamic. I don't know if this guy was representing John or just doing him a favor, but apparently he really turned on John on some level, and now John is really offended. And I'm John Edward Melendez. I'm on your side with this, especially even if you just ask for a friend. The last thing you need is your own advocate turning on you. Now, I don't know the situation, all of it, so this is just my opinion.
You like to go to... I'm not going to, because you get mad at anything else. I'm not trashing you, but you go to the jugular, put it that way. I guess
I want to know what he said.
A lot of attorneys do, but you say things that I find unforgivable. And that's just me. Yeah, in this Dabbleverse, like we could all insult each other, but for me, from an attorney, I don't expect to be called things that I don't deserve. That's all. But again, he's a great lawyer. He's a great lawyer. I mean, he's a very successful lawyer.
Wow, look at John Edward Melendez talking nicely about this attorney. Coincidentally, I know one that he talked very poorly about behind his back.
He was very successful with me when he dealt with Sharon Stone.
Okay, so is this the Sharon Stone case? John Edward Melendez v. Sharon Stone stipulation of discontinuance that is filed when the case is resolved, when the parties resolve the case or for any other reason. So it says the law office of Mark Lesser. I don't know if this is the same attorney. This is what John's claiming. This is a public record. Was it that guy Mark, the attorney Mark?
It was always
Again, don't rely upon that, but that's what John has said, that just right there, that it was Sharon Stone. So I guess it was that guy, Mark Lesser, who apparently sized John up, and he told Bob he's great at sizing people up, if I'm correct. I don't know for certain.
A friend? We used to go to parties, I have no problem with him.
See how that is, John? You call them friends. You go in the parties together, and then apparently whoever the guy is, it may not be that Mark Lesser guy, whoever it was, turned on you with just a little pushback from Bob Levy and the dues payer. Allegedly. That's allegedly what happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but that's what they're claiming. I'm just reporting on it.
I just think that Bob played him, and Bob did. Bob played him, and I don't blame the lawyer because he's not used to this. This is not his world. The Dabbleverse is not normal. These people are not normal. It's not me. I'm not taping anybody. They are. And they're playing the goddamn calls. And after you called them, they played more. Now, it's not your fault. So I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm just saying that these guys are scum. Stop letting them think that I am the scum. I'm not. I don't tape people. I don't try to embarrass people like they did with you. I don't. But now Shuli's texting you and you're taking his side. It appears. Oh, Shuli said you said this. Well, ask me first. Ask me for the clip. I'll get it to you. I don't even know. Or whatever it is, I'll retract it. Because I don't. Yeah, what things said. Yeah, but I don't. You're a great attorney. I'm not going to ever say that you're not.
Wow, look at John's total attitude has changed. I leave for a month. All of a sudden, an attorney calls him a moron, apparently, and something else, even worse, going for the jugular. He doesn't say anything negative about it. He's saying he's a great attorney. I know someone that he was very negative to behind his back in public, saying negative things about. A lot has changed in a month.
And you were a good friend. I just think that Bob shouldn't have taped you. And after that call, they just fucking went nuts on my family. After I tried not to. Do I feel slighted in a way? Yeah. They continued after they said that. I started it. And I didn't start it. They did. You know, and then it seemed that, that on the phone call, according to Dirty Deeds, and Dabbling Dan, and Dustin, people I talked to, and the people on Reddit, all said it seemed like you were siding with them.
John, this is what I love about you, but if you're going to cite something and make a representation about something, you cannot rely upon the credible Dirty Deeds or Reddit. Why not go and look at it yourself? Now, I know it's futile for me to give you advice on this situation, and I'm not doing it. I want you to continue to do what you're doing successfully. But it is funny that you believe that you can rely upon other people's statements and you never actually check to see if they're true.
I didn't even hear the whole thing. I'm just going by what people tell me. I don't want to hear it. You know, I think you're a great lawyer. I do. Else I wouldn't have called you. Shit, you won the Sharon Stone case. But Shitway's got to try and stir shit and then weigh it. He's got to try and get you all riled up so you can send me an angry text among the myriad of other ones. I'm getting kind of used to it now. I apologize if I said anything bad.
John, you actually were taught this by me. I apologize if I said anything bad. You know that that's not a real apology. You have to be specific in what you are sorry for, and it's not an if. I apologize because I said something. And I don't know if you said anything or not. You don't even know. They have you running around. Don't start admitting to things that you don't even know are true or not. You're coming up with stuff.
All right? Let's just leave it at that. But I don't think I deserved a lot of things that you text me.
And I agree with John Melendez. He doesn't deserve it.
I don't think I deserve to have them attack my family and tape you and then them play it and it looks like you're siding with.
None of your business, John. The attorney made an agreement with Bob. I don't even know about New Jersey law, but assuming that it's a one-party state, generally New Jersey copies New York, then he would not have to have consent from the attorney. But I know for certain, I heard Bob tell the attorney that he was recording him.
Bob, I don't think I deserve that. So if you think that that's not going to bother.
And federal law requires one-party consent. So you ask yourself, why do we have New York law, we have California law, but there's also federal law. So if you're crossing state lines, interstate, then federal law could apply. And federal law is very clear. It's a one-party state. So you don't have to worry about that if you're Kate Meany. This is my opinion. Don't rely upon a Kate. Get your own attorney. And then which state would apply is a very, very complex case and very complex issue. But there's been no case law to establish that Kate Meany would be subject to any of California laws, especially if she has no connection to California.
Bother me, it is. So you can call me a moron all you want, but that is going to bother me. Because it made it worse. These guys doubled down and just made it worse. So I ordered this fucking bed. It's in this skinny box. So you try and open a box. I got the knife going. I'm trying to open a box. Fucking thing is fucking taking a fucking hour and a day. And then I try and get all the plastic, that tight fucking wrapping around.
So John's describing the fact that he's starting now to furnish his house. Now, when I had Alexandra, my 9-year-old, drive us down there to Cape Coral. And John, I told John that we were trying to get in. You know, we were walking around the house. I'll admit it. We were walking around. There's no furniture. There's beer cans, and none of the rooms are furnished. So I had Devin like hop up on the, couldn't get through the door, so he hopped up on the window there, and he put in a camera there so we can watch John in his second room. There's no other ways we can do it. So John was up there, and apparently he got a mattress delivered that comes all sealed. And you know when you unseal it, it really expands out quickly. And luckily I think we have some video from the actual event. And you know, I'm just joking. We didn't really go to Cape Coral.
So I'm cutting through the plastic. So I see I'm cutting through something else. I'm cutting right through the fucking mattress. Thank you.
And it's true. It's so hard to not cut the mattress when it's all sealed together.
Oh, thank you. Now I'm cutting through the plastic, getting to the bottom, and the thing, bam, opens up, knocks me on my ass. I hit the fucking cabinet. The mattress is on top of me.
Oh my God, look here. The mattress is on top of John.
I fucking hurt my elbow.
Holy shit. That hit him hard too.
I'm like, I'm a fucking moron, man, clipping. It was funny. I mean, I laughed.
And this is why you have to love John's show. He's very honest about what happens. And that sort of happened to me a little bit too. But John's very tiny. And when he gets hit by a mattress, it is going to knock him out. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, John looks great right now. I can't believe how quickly he lost all that weight. And his goddamn biceps are amazing. As much as what we have going on is negative, you have to give the Duke credit. He looks great.
Knocks me over.
The Duke went flying.
I got outsmarted by a box.
Shuli, come on. Try roasting Pat. Get a sandwich. Shuli, try. This is Shuli. He's Pat, this is Shuli. He's an up-and-coming comic. He's going to roast you. Shuli.
Right here, Pat. How you doing, buddy?
God bless.
Pat, I just want to tell you, first of all, you're one of my...
First mistake, do not read. I know a lot of these comics come here. Why do we give a public speaker that is going to roast someone some deference to the rules of public speaking? The good roasters never have to read. Be prepared. Be prepared with your jokes. Don't come in there keeping your head down, losing contact with the audience. It's not proper, especially in comedy. And you see so many roasts, people write their things down. Well, that means you didn't prepare. You didn't care enough to prepare.
Idols. I said you're one of my idols, Pat. You're very influential in my life.
In my life, I go deaf.
You're very influential.
This is one of the fucking times.
You're very influential in my life. In fact, I always play Pat's age in the Pick 3 Lotto game. So thank you for that. Do us all.
First of all, the people you're talking to don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, that wasn't a bad joke.
That's the best fucking thing.
The best thing about this, though, the best thing about this is we know you're going to be able to handle it. Just.
Jesus. How fucking lame. Shitway, you gotta be fucking with me.
Pat hates Joan Rivers, but truth be told, Pat hates success, and you would too if Freddie Roman eclipsed you career-wise.
Oh. Huh? All right, that was a horrible joke. And again, I will never criticize someone wholly because it takes a lot of courage to get up and speak in public. That's just what it is. In terms of any fight, I don't criticize the fighter for fighting. There's always ways to improve. Always. In terms of litigation, as an attorney, in terms of a comedian, there are always ways to improve. But you respect the dues pair here. You respect any fighter. Most people don't do things because they have a fear of losing, a fear of failure. Clearly, the dues pair got over that, so you have to respect that. But that was a horrible joke. Okay, you work on it next. Again, why we don't read while we're speaking in public is you lose that connection with your audience.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
I think Pat.
I don't know what the fuck you.
No one knew what that joke meant.
Listen to me. All you got to do is talk in Braille. What the fuck is he saying? He's saying that Freddie Roman did better career-wise than you did. Oh, Freddie
I don't even know who Freddie Roman is.
Roman, of course. He did? Oh, Freddie Roman's a big star. When's the last time you heard of Freddie Roman? Give me a fucking break. I'm on the subway coming here, and I'm recognized.
Well, I do want to say, Pat's wife recently passed away, and my condolences. We know she's in a better place. In fact, I know she's in a better place because you're not there screaming and yelling like a fucking mental patient. And odds are she's more successful than you are.
He don't stop to wait for the lesson. No, he's scared shit because he wants to get this thing over with.
You are. You got it? The joke should end with the punchline. Let me explain.
John's 100% right there. 100% right. And that's great advice, Dewspayer, from John. John Edward is telling you, when you say that joke and your punchline is there, you stop. If you notice, then you kept talking after that. So listen to John Edward here. And you heard Pat Cooper say another important thing about public speaking. And I say it to everyone when you start and when you finish. Make sure you are settled when you start. Don't start talking until you are settled. Then you talk. Also, when you finish, most of us can't wait to get the fuck off the stage, to get the fuck out of there. And we rush our ending. Do the same as you do at the beginning. Make sure that you're keeping your presence through the very last word. And then as a trick we do is stay there for 3 seconds or 4 or 5. But you're going to remain in the same position after you're done speaking. So the two things, Pat Cooper was alluding to that, because we're so quick to get out of there. We want to get out of there so quick. We generally bumble that last section. But John is right here too. End with the punchline. End it there.
See, these guys don't even know how to do proper jokes.
John's right here.
Here, watch.
She's in a better place. In fact, I know she's in a better place because you're not there screaming and yelling like a fucking mental patient.
See, you're not. I know she's in a better place because you're not there. That's all you. The joke should have ended. I know she's in a better place because you're not there.
And John's bringing up another point that I didn't think of, and he's 100% right. When you're crafting a joke or crafting an opening or closing, generally less is more. The human brain can only pay attention for 20 minutes at a time anyway. But in terms of the words you're using, less is more. John is 100% right. You didn't need those extra words. So when you was here, Jackie used the phrase punching up a script. Basically, punching up means deleting a lot of words because you want your final product to be as simple as possible. As simple. Less is more in terms of writing, in terms of your speech. Great point by John R. Melendez.
But no, Shitway. Now watch what Shitway does. He doesn't know how the proper way to end the joke.
And in fairness to the Dewsbury, this was a long time ago. It's a very nerve-wracking stage to be on. And the point is, we're not criticizing the Dewsbury for fighting and being a fighter or for being a public speaker. We're just going through his technique that he can always improve on if he wants to do stand-up comedy for a living.
Recently passed away, and my condolences. We know she's in a better place. In fact, I know she's in a better place because you're not there screaming and yelling like a fucking mental.
Yeah, John's right. He's right. If you ended it right there, because you're not there. That's it.
No. Screaming and yelling like a fucking mental, but no.
And then he and Pat's telling him, you got to stop and wait. Wait for the laugh. And they all know where it is. And again, this is the beginning. It's easy for me to sit here and criticize. I get that. But if he wants to get better at comedy, what better person to teach you than an attorney?
Successful than you are.
You don't stop. And odds are she's more successful than you are. Where are the jokes, Shuli? You suck.
All right. With that, I'm happy to be back. I don't know how many people actually got over here, but I am not allowed to actually send the link through the other site. But I did something funny to try and give a little publicity to the channel. I'll be back here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're going to start it up again. It is the summer, so I may have to take a few weeks off. But either way, we're back. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad John Edward is here, and we're all here together. I will see you guys back on Monday, 12 noon, hanging with Vince on whatever this channel is. I don't like the name. What is it? Lazy Law News. You like it, Kate? Ah, damn. I love that laugh. All right, you in? Monday. Compromisable?
Compromisable.
Then I'll see everyone back here on Monday. Godspeed, John Edward. Stop fucking with John's money, please super chat John Edward. Please. And if you get a chance, visit Cape Coral. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. Right, Kate? All right, see you back Monday.
You know, Vince, if you want to take it this far, I will be in for the battle. Listen to me very closely. Don't fuck with my income. I am going to counter it with you paying the punitive damages because you'll be paying for it and all the court fees. You got a lot more to lose than I do, Vince. I don't got the money you got. I don't got 3 fucking houses and condos like you have. Look, get in touch with me. Get in touch with me if you want. You don't have to, but if you want to end this, we end this.
You can have my answer now if you like. My offer is this. Nothing. Not even the fee for the gaming license, which I would appreciate if you would put up personally.
Don't answer that.